Welcome, everybody, to the Healthy Habit Podcast, episode number 202 with Stacy Faulkner here. I'm your host, Dr. Dayon of Healthy Habit Medical Center, located right inside Healthy Habit Health Foods. Stacy's worked in the natural health industry since 2000. As a national educator for Emerald Labs, Stacy provides insight and understanding to those seeking information regarding better health through proper supplementation and self-care. And if you're an avid listener here of the podcast, you know Stacy loves coming on for the monthly check-ins with Emerald Labs, the additive-free company. And that's exactly what we're doing here today, covering the topic of inflammation, pain, joint pain, just general aches and pains, potentially even headaches, migraines can be under this umbrella. So I'm excited to dive into this and highlight a couple of products here that's been around for quite some time here through Emerald Labs that practitioners have been using, all formulated by Dr. Mark Stangler, who we've had on the podcast back in 2024. Stacy, welcome back.
Hey, good to see you, Dan.
How are we doing on your end since we last spoke? The last episode we released, actually, at the time of this recording, was back episode number 178 with Stacy. We talked about bladder health, signs of weak bladder, the
Oh,
role pumpkin seed and cranberry extracts can all have. So how have you been since our last one?
I've been good. Just enjoying just springtime and
Mm-hmm.
it's a little gray here in Oceanside, but it should burn off. We had an earthquake the other day. I
Really?
was in the middle of a nationwide Zoom call
Wow.
and I'm outside and everything started shaking and I just kept quiet because I had taken my video off and it I just kept quiet. I just had an earthquake. I could see everything moving in the
Jeez.
water. And and then Melody in the corporate office, which is about 45 minutes away, maybe an hour, said, I think we just had an earthquake because it just showed up on my phone. I've never had an emergency earthquake alert.
Wow.
So anyway, it's been interesting. So it was fine.
Well, you
Yeah.
made it out,
Everything's
and
good.
you're
Yeah.
good to go to do this podcast. So
Yes,
thank you,
sir. Yes,
thank you,
sir. So
thank you.
good to
So
see you.
good to see you too. So we want to highlight products such as the Meriva Turmeric today,
Mm.
PEA. I think you had OptiMSM on the lineup there as well, or
Yeah.
no?
No, I have really want to talk about this PEA, which is new
Okay,
to Emerald
let's
Labs.
start
Okay.
there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and we can kind of transition into just letting everybody know these anti-inflammatory products that we have for pain relief, um, and kind of go from there. So it's really interesting. They're science-backed clinical studies, like you said. Dr. Mark Stangler, I think you said it earlier that he is
Yeah.
our formulator, naturopathic medical doctor, and so like yourself, and so yeah, we've got a good lineup for people to choose from for
Let's
basically
absolutely,
pain.
and obviously pain, inflammation that can be due to so many different things,
Mm,
sports injuries, just being obese can put wear and tear on the joints, different autoimmune diseases, side effects from different medications, car accidents, all different things can contribute to pain, inflammation, nutrition, of course, diet, highly inflammatory diet. So tell us about PEA. How can this fit in? And just educate us on PEA.
So PEA is now, bear with me, the name of the word is very long. That's why it's just PEA.
Okay.
It's palmitoyl ethanol anamide, amides. So AMIDE. So PEA, it's a naturally occurring fatty acid. It's made in our body and it is found in foods. I think it's the one that we're using by Levagen. It's a patented ingredient
Uh-huh.
with tons of clinical studies, the science behind it. Basically, I want listeners to just think about it. PEA is a natural analgesic. So a pain, our body produces it as a natural analgesic. It really comes up um, in the points of like stress and inflammation. So it produces in the body. And so as a natural pain reliever, this could be really helpful for all those instances that you just spoke about.
Yeah.
Um, so many ways to get the body inflamed, which is going to lead to eventual dis-ease, discomfort, etc. So this PEA and this lineup that I just showed you, the UC2, the Meriva Turmeric Plus, and this PEA, this is from my cabinet. So these are like these are ready to be replaced. This has already been replaced. So this PEA, naturally occurring in our body, we're using Levagen. For people that are unfamiliar, Levagen in the market is a really well known company with it's part of the GenCore umbrella, and GenCore is really well known on the East Coast for joint relief products, supplementation, things like that. So Levagen is a very good ingredient. We're using Levagen at 350 mgs. And
Hmm.
so per 2 capsules here, and then we've added the Meriva turmeric, which is Meriva Glutathione, and then we've added OptiMSM, which is a superior form of MSM. So bottom line is, as a natural analgesic, when our body starts to produce it in the points of pain and inflammation, that's very helpful. So it's going to kind of calm down that inflammation and get rid of some of our pain. So this PE, it was basically found in 1957, and it's extracted normally from soy lecithin, egg yolk, and peanut meal that I have here. And so it basically targets like multiple inflammatory issues in the body and
Yeah.
providing the applications that help with immunity. I've got brain health on here, allergies, pain modulation, joint health, sleep, and recovery. So when the PEA is activated in our body for natural pain relief, you can supplement it as well with this Levagen PEA. And like I said, we have PEA Plus that we added the turmeric to and the MSM to, both
Yeah.
patented ingredients as well. So this guy enhances by I think 75%. Let me see, basically as a natural analgesic, anti-inflammatory, and neuroprotective. But what did I want to read here to you? Dosing goes from 300 to 1200, and it increases by 1.75% our natural PEA in the body. So what we're looking at is um, pain, like the studies are coming back on like carpal tunnel, sciatica, lower back pain, specifically knee osteoarthritis. But I mean, I've got osteoarthritis in my neck, and so I'm
Mm.
thinking one of the same. So osteoarthritis, huge studies on migraines,
Okay.
Dan. Huge studies on migraines,
Yeah.
headaches, cognitive function, like neuroprotective. So have you been using PEA at all, or do you have customers or your patients asking for it?
Yeah, and so it's come up a few times, especially if you even do it as an IV. That's been asked, but no, I
Oh,
haven't specifically been using it clinically. But
okay.
that's why we need episodes like this to help educate us and to learn about this kind of stuff. But I knew about the supplement that it's there. We have a couple different versions, but yeah, I never really dived into the PEA side compared to MSM, which we'll highlight here in a
Mm-hmm.
moment in the curcumin. So, but you said it's one of the newer products by Emerald.
It is newer, and also I wanted, yeah, it's I mean a couple months, so
Okay.
I think you guys have it on your shelf. It's a great product, and also you can increase the dose. You want to start with two, and the two
Uh,
is at 350. But like I was saying earlier, 350 to 1200 is what the studies have gone on, and people can take it for a long time. There's no side effects to long-term taking it, like it would be like if somebody's taking it NSAID, and liver damage with those kind of things, those pain relief, over-the-counter pain reliefs or
yeah.
prescription pain relievers. So I've had great success with it for pain relief in my feet and in my neck for the osteoarthritis. And also, I recently had a migraine, which was very rare, and I definitely got this out and took for the migraine. When I talk about dosing up, we want you to start at two, and all the studies that I read to start at two, and especially with the migraines at the 2 hour mark, if you still do not have if it's not gone away, you can take two more and then you can just up your dose with that. So you want your body to get used to the PEA, increasing your natural PEA as for the for the pain relief. And so
Right.
while you're looking at that, while you're showing people that, I want to I have this nice little chart here when it's talking about the mechanisms of the PEA.
Yeah.
For inflammation, it decreases the mast cell activation. And you can explain this to everybody because this will make most sense to you. It decreases the INOS expression. It decreases the COX2 expression, and it decreases neutrophil influx
Yeah.
as an analgesic. So that's for inflammation. So decreases all of that. And this is just the PEA by itself. The analgesic part is it decreases acute pain, it decreases inflammatory pain, and it decreases neuropathic pain.
Hmm.
So in my mind, I'm like, where have you been my whole life? And for
Yeah.
people that suffer from migraines, and we're seeing a huge increase in migraines. Um, and who knows why, all sorts of environmental issues, the toxicity, things like that.
Yeah.
But this PEA could really be a huge something to keep in your arsenal. instead of grabbing the 800 ibuprofen or taking two
Right.
Tylenol, things like that. I definitely would encourage people to have this in their arsenal to grab when something happens, as far as a headache or neck pain from osteoarthritis, or knee pain,
Yeah.
or or joint pain in the hands, whatever they're kind of facing um, from inflammation or need some analgesic protectiveness. I would grab a PEA
I love it.
bottle.
And I like that
Good.
this also has inside of it, per two capsules.
Hmm.
Yes, two capsules, 1 month supply roughly. You'll also get the MSM in there and the Meriva turmeric root extract, which Emerald has those as standalones as well, just as its own product. But this is a
No,
nice. It doesn't. I thought.
no,
Oh, really?
we used to have the
You
Opta
used to. Got
MSM
it.
Dayon. Yeah, we used to, and the
I
Meriva
knew I
turmeric,
see it.
not a
Yeah.
standalone, but we've got this one that has the Meriva turmeric. So right here, what you're showing everyone is this 250. That's a good dose. That's a healthy dose,
Uh
because
huh.
the Meriva turmeric, and this is basically standardized. What this company specializes in, the Meriva turmeric, it's a company called Indina,
Uh
and they
huh.
specialize in cytosome technology. So turmeric is poorly absorbed by the human body, like berberine and like quercetin. And so they take the turmeric, they standardize it into like a 22% super potent extract from the curcumin, and then they put it into a phosphatidylcholine bubble. And so basically putting the fat inside this fat bubble, this is a patented ingredient. It shuttles into the cell membrane at like a 29% more bioavailable rate,
Uh huh.
and it stays in the body longer. And that OptiMSM that you were showing, that is MSM flake. So it's a very superior form of MSM. It's distilled, as it shows on the body, distilled from DMSO.
Uh huh.
And so the human clinical studies on the Meriva are at 150. So this has got the 250. This Meriva
Got it.
Turmeric Plus that's in my hand,
Yeah.
this I think is at 500. So 500 mgs of the Meriva Plus in here. And then they've got Opta MSM in here as well
Oh, okay.
at 125. And on there, this PEA showing that 500. So what we're looking at are strong anti-inflammatories and
Right.
antioxidants for the MSM as a sulfur, and that Meriva turmeric. Those are healthy amounts for that, for those two. So these are just a couple options. The Meriva Turmeric Plus is what I'm talking about for the consumers, and the
Yeah.
PEA is what you and I are talking about here on screen. So those are two options right there for anti-inflammatory, antioxidant protection as far as pain relief,
Right.
uh, and decreasing inflammation.
And this is what I do in office with patients. I'll literally pull up a screen like this with a couple tabs up top just to show them why I'm giving certain supplements or why they might want to
Mm-hmm.
consider it. You could see this one from 2021. There's a study. There's the PEA, like Stacy was mentioning. It's a really long name. All we need to know is PEA. Try saying palmitoyl ethanolamide 5 times real
Oh,
fast.
thank you.
Um, so it's an endocannabinoid like lipid mediator. So
Mm-hmm.
for those that are kind of, they've researched cannabis, CBD. There was a huge CBD trend. Man, remember that about 7 years ago or so?
Yeah,
We do have our own endocannabinoid system in our body. So this kind of mimics the
yeah,
endocannabinoid compounds and plugs right into that system. And then what does that do?
exactly.
It has all these different effects: anti-inflammatory, analgesic, which is pain relief, antimicrobial, even Stacey, and immunomodulatory. So this can even potentially help with the immune system, make it a bit stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another study from 2023. This was a systematic review and meta-analysis, which are like some of the two biggest types of studies. It's effective, very well tolerated for chronic pain. And then here's a bunch of studies here for migraines, like Stacy was mentioning,
Yes,
can reduce
totally.
the severity and durations of migraines. So it goes on and on. Tons of research. Life Extensions published a lot of research on it. But so there's a lot of literature out there on PEA. And
And
again, go ahead.
yeah, basically 9 of the 11 studies that I've got too here reported significant analgesic, so pain relieving effects. So if those are takeaways for
Yes.
your listeners, pain reliever, pain reliever, pain reliever.
Yeah.
And so we're talking from musculoskeletal to neuro, like you said, neuro to joint to I mean all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, really great.
Perfect. And again, folks, it's episode 202 here today with Stacy Faulkner. We're breaking down pain, inflammation, migraines, it can all be under that same umbrella. Some people have joint pain and migraines happening at the same time due to chronic inflammation. So PEA is one of the newer products here from Emerald, and they don't anymore have the OptiMSM as a standalone. Is that correct? You had a powder version, I
We
think.
had it, yep, we had it in a tub. It was
Yep.
flakes. It was flakes, but we still are using
Okay.
it. Dr. Stangler's a big fan of the ingredient, so we're still using it in a lot of our products here.
Perfect.
So, when you just mentioned joint pain, so I've got some information here that the pain score is significantly reduced in the Levagen group when some of these studies were done compared to the placebo. So when we're looking at VOS scores, right? So that's just a pain score that they'll use in studies. And so 2 week study, 35 received Levagen and 39 received a placebo. Pain scores significantly reduced in the group that used the
Wow.
Levagen. And so additionally, significant pain and anxiety improvement in the Levagen group over just the joint pain alone. And we're talking about the knee osteoarthritis
Right.
study. So just walking caused them a lot of anxiety and then
Uh-huh.
pain. And then we've got a study on nerve pain here. So 8 clinical studies looking at sciatic pain, low back pain, and carpal tunnel syndrome. And so after 3 weeks, those on 600 milligrams of PEA had a 60% reduction in pain. And so at 600, everyone, we're using 350 per two. So that would be, depending on your pain, four to look at these kind of looking at a pain reduction of up to 60%. I'm telling you, it has really worked for my neck. And sometimes when you forget to take something for pain, you know that it's working. Just like I talked on our last segment about bladder health. When you
Right.
forget to take their bladder health, that means it's really, really working.
Yeah.
So migraine relief here, like I was talking about earlier, the 2 hour mark, take a second dose if it's still not relieved. Um, Overall, it lowers the headaches, the pain score, reduce rescue medication, like what I talked about earlier, the Tylenol
Yes.
or prescription. Here's one on infection. Okay, reduced blood inflammatory markers. Okay, also SP-selectin associated with COVID-19 complications,
Yeah.
including blood clots. It taken 600, so that's twice a day at 600. So for that would be 8 a day looking for this. And so after 4 weeks, people who were unvaccinated,
Right.
um, that's really interesting there for infection. Um, Again, a 12-week study showed 300. So that would be two a day here. And that's at 350, significantly reduced upper respiratory tract infections. So scratchy throat and cough that I've got going right now. So influenza and common cold significantly reduced. So that's really interesting, especially what's going on right now. And
Wow.
then another study here on sleep day on. So reduce the amount of time. So latency, reduce the amount of time to fall asleep. So that's amazing for a lot of people. Also to improve the time to feel fully awake and cognition upon waking. So
Yeah.
this looks like a super magic
Right. And
capsule.
and it's not just us saying this. Like this from the National Institutes of Health, the NIH is even saying
Yes,
that fibromyalgia, osteoarthritis, multiple
right.
sclerosis, all these different conditions, patients with dealing with those can potentially benefit from PEA, and that's straight from the NIH. And what is it? A lot of people want to know, where does it come from? Well, it's naturally occurring. Okay, our body makes PEA,
Mhm.
and it's found in various food sources. But to get to that therapeutic level, your production of PEA might not be firing on all cylinders. So then that's where a supplement may or may not help, right? Work with your doctor. We're just trying to put this on your radar so you can at least explore it. It's found in egg yolks, like you
Mhm.
said, egg whites, you said as
Egg
well,
yolks, soy,
especially
lecithin,
the yolks.
and this Levagen is from palm kernel oil, and it's a vegan source, and it's vegan this whole product is vegan with the
Yeah.
OptiMSM and the Meriva in here. So it's a vegan source from apricot, I mean from palm kernel oil, and no animals were harmed, so it's very very clean ingredient. PEA by Levagen. And people can
Yeah.
look it up, just like you showed everybody all of these studies, and like what I'm quoting off of this from Dr. Stangler's studies, information. Another study, and it has improved, let's see, at 700 a day. And I know this is getting to be a lot, and that might be expensive, but if we can just start to look at the overall benefit of
Uh-huh.
increasing our natural PEA, because the Levagen is going to increase it by 1.75%. So improved cognition testing showed improved memory.
Uh-huh.
Okay, improved circulating levels of the BDNF, which is the brain-derived nootropic, that factor, and neurotropic, not
Uh-huh.
nootropic,
Right, right,
neurotropic.
right.
And then the BDNF plays a role in the brain, neuron health, plasticity, learning, and memory. So if we're looking at aches, pains, um, uh, neurotropic, we're looking at cognition. I mean, my goodness,
Right. And
amazing.
and I like that we're focusing, staying on just this one blend because there's three in here. It's not just the PEA. You know, we covered the Meriva Turmeric, the MSM
Mm.
as well with the PEA, but let's break down a little bit more on the Meriva Turmeric. That one you do say you have a standalone product that says the Meriva on it, correct?
Yes, yes.
Right.
And one last thing I want to tell your
On
listeners is
PEA?
that, yeah, no, on the PEA.
Yes, please.
Okay, so the PEA, it has poor absorption that is showed in studies in animals. Okay,
Yeah.
so what Levagen does is they use like a liposperse technology, and so it's basically fat soluble in an aqueous or a water environment, and it's preventing PEA crystals from um, agglomerating, and it has better exposure of the PEA in the small intestine. So this is also going to correlate with transitioning then into what you just asked about the Meriva
Oh,
phytosome.
okay.
So we're looking at companies that are improving the absorption in the body. So we're all about bioavailability at Emerald Labs. We're only as good as what we absorb. If we're not
Yeah.
absorbing our supplements that we take, if we're not being able to absorb the nutrients that we're chewing from our food, then we're not getting the vitamins and minerals and the nutrient dense qualities of what we're
Right.
ingesting or what we're taking. So this Meriva phytosome is turmeric. Okay, the company is called uh, the company is Indina, and they specialize in phytosome technology. So our Quercifit is by Indina. Our
Okay.
our berberine is by Indina. So they're taking those poorly absorbed ingredients, they're concentrating them, and then they're putting them into a fat bubble. And in this case, the Meriva phytosome is a project verified non-GMO phosphatidylcholine bubble. And like I was saying earlier, the clinical studies on Meriva alone, the Meriva Turmeric Plus, um, uh, gets into the cell membrane at a 29% more bioavailable rate, stays in the system longer. So having a phytosome technology, just like a liposperse technology, we're
Right.
guaranteeing to the consumer that these ingredients, because they're conducted with science, and clinical studies are behind them, that they're going to do what they say they're going to do. So high absorption is key and is critical to um, the benefit or the result driven aspect of the ingredients put together in the
Right.
formulas. Does that make sense?
Amazing.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I love that all this is backed up by the research from
Mm.
studies or from journals such as the Journal of Nutraceuticals and Food Science, Inflammopharmacology. And this is straight from emeraldlabs.com, by the way. All the different
Yes. Okay,
sources they're
great.
citing under this product page, even the Journal of Natural Products. So very well studied. You have the Albion, the Trax, the OptiMSM certifications, and all these different registered trademarks for optimal absorption. Another cool thing is that Emerald Labs is 100% committed to manufacturing products that are the highest quality. So, what does that mean? No fillers, no binders, no lubricants, no flow agents, no disintegrants. So, you can take Emerald Labs products knowing that you're only getting active, bioavailable nutrients, as Stacy was just mentioning. So, thank you so much for highlighting that. And then give us a little bit more on MSM. What's the value of MSM? You mentioned it's been distilled from the DMSO.
DSMO,
Yeah.
which I'm a big fan. I
Tell
have
us a
my
little bit
own
more.
original bottle of DMSO as a pain reliever, analgesic. Um, Sulfur, MSM. So it's critical for the synthesis of collagen.
Uh huh.
And we get that from silica, and then for uh, creating the collagen. So
Right.
MSM, patented ingredient distilled from the DMSO. It's a way to use DMSO. It's a superior form of flakes. Um, natural anti-inflammatory, also antioxidant.
Uh-huh.
So we have this patented ingredient because it is shown to be a strong anti-inflammatory. And
Right.
so that's really what we're using it for in the PEA Plus and the Meriva turmeric. I feel like it's in one of our other products, but I can't think of it right now because the UC2 has the Meriva phytosome in there, and then and the anti-nature collagen type 2 for joint pain relief. So
Uh-huh.
what do you want to tell your consumers about sulfur? I don't know if I'm getting into it enough.
Well, we're pretty much coming to the end, but we can even continue this in a part two. But the DMSO, MSM, even all the cruciferous vegetable family, they all contain glutathione is another one,
Mhm.
which you and I have covered a ton, right? We love our glutathione, right,
We
Stacy?
do, and I
So
love
that's
our N-acetylcysteine, the vegan.
Yeah, so
Um,
these types of products, we've given DMSO IVs as well, a lot at the clinic because it's super effective for pain and it helps all the other nutrients get absorbed deeper. But it does have that sulfury smell that turns
mhm.
people off, but it's highly effective, So if you can get past that smell, you're going to get a lot of anti-inflammatory support from those sulfurous compounds, and we
Yeah.
can go even deeper than that. But OptiMSM is the key takeaway there. The purest form of MSM available, folks. And this is manufactured right here in the United States by Bergstrom Nutrition,
Hmm.
multiple distillation process. And that's right here in this PEA Plus formula, which we covered here today. And just like that, we're right to the end of our segment. I know that this is going to put PEA Plus on a lot of people's radars,
Yes, and I
patients
just
and
sent you
customers. So,
all those clinical studies. I just
oh, you
sent
sent
you all
me?
that in a
Perfect.
presentation, so you'll be able to really see how quickly it's absorbed. Also, the PEA ups
Yeah,
ups our own natural PEA really, really quickly. Okay, so we've got
amazing.
graphs on there, like within 120 minutes, it's 75% upped. I know there's a better word than that,
Yeah,
but yeah.
absorbed,
So until next
available.
time, yeah, available.
Thank you so much, Stacy. And,
You're
and
welcome.
I'll be, for the people that are listening to this, if you caught that, she emailed me. If you guys want a copy of that literature, come on by, say, hey, listen, I listened to episode 202 with Stacy. I want to get a copy of that, and I'll be more than happy to pass that your way, folks. So until next time, Stacy, thank you
All
so
right.
much for your
All
time,
right.
folks. emeraldlabs.com.